silent voices shattered trust. I remember the day they told me I was wasting my life. I was just a kid then, full of fire and unshakable hope, dreaming of changing the world. My family? They saw it as a childish fantasy, something foolish, embarrassing, laughable. They told me I was chasing trash tinkering, that I'd never amount to anything but a disappointment, that my obsession with ocean waste and biodegradable tech was ridiculous and pointless. They didn't just dismiss me, they ridiculed me, mocked me, made me feel like I was an idiot for believing I could make a difference. "You're wasting your talent," my father sneered one evening, tossing a soda can into the trash. "You think you can solve the world's problems with trash? Dream on." My mother shook her head, eyes narrowing. "You're better off getting a real job, not playing around with ocean junk. No one's going to take you seriously." It was relentless. Every day, their words echoed in my ears, fueling my stubborn resolve. I buried myself in research, in labs, in endless nights trying to create a biodegradable material from ocean waste. Something that could replace plastics. Something that could heal the earth instead of poisoning it. But every breakthrough was met with skepticism, even hostility. The academic board I once trusted, they dismissed my work as naive, impractical. They labeled me a fool, a dreamer chasing illusions. And so I left. I packed my bags, knowing I'd be branded a failure if I stayed. But I wasn't going to let their words define me. I poured everything into my work, risking everything. Money, reputation, relationships. I knew I was onto something real, something revolutionary, even if the world thought I was just trash tinkering. Years passed. I faced setbacks, failed experiments, financial struggles, moments when I questioned whether I'd ever succeed. But I kept going. I believed in the ocean's potential, in the power of innovation. And finally, after relentless effort, I cracked it. A biodegradable material derived entirely from ocean waste, capable of replacing plastics, capable of transforming how we live and sustain our planet. That's when my invention caught the attention of environmental agencies, corporations, governments. It was a game changer. I watched my technology unfold into a movement, restoring barren lands, revitalizing polluted ecosystems, turning dead zones into lush, thriving habitats. I became a symbol of hope, proof that even the trash the world dismisses can become the foundation for a cleaner, greener future. But the greatest moment of all was coming home. After years of fighting, after proving everyone wrong, I returned to the place I'd once been mocked as a foolish dreamer. I hadn't spoken to my family in years. No need to. They dismissed me, ridiculed my work, told me I was an embarrassment. And now I was coming back as someone they couldn't ignore. The day I arrived, I didn't plan a grand speech. I just wanted them to see, to witness firsthand what their mockery had failed to understand, that I had become something real, something powerful, something that could change the world. I drove into the yard where my childhood home sat, but what I saw made my heart ache. The land around the house was barren, cracked, lifeless. The very soil they once dismissed as trash tinkering was now a cracked, dead earth. I could see the frustration flickering in their eyes, the skepticism, the doubt that had haunted me all those years. Then I stepped out of the car carrying a small container, my latest creation, a sample of the biodegradable material I'd developed. I approached the backyard, where a patch of land was supposed to be lush and green, but instead was a desolate wasteland. With a steady hand, I poured my biodegradable compound into the soil. It took a moment, but then something remarkable happened. Tiny green shoots pushed through the cracked earth, reaching for the sun. Small patches of vibrant grass sprouted, followed by wildflowers, then trees. Life was returning to what they had written off as useless trash, proof that I had turned their skepticism into salvation. My family watched in silence. Their faces were a mix of shock, disbelief, and something else. Perhaps a reluctant acknowledgement that I had succeeded despite their doubts. Their eyes fixed on the rebirth happening before them, and I saw the weight of years of ridicule, of dismissive words, lift from their shoulders. I turned to face them, voice steady but filled with emotion. You told me I was wasting my talent, that I was embarrassing the family? I let your words drown my hope for a while. But I never stopped believing in what I knew was right. The potential hidden in what you called trash. Today, I stand here not just as a scientist, but as proof that even the cruelest words can't define your destiny if you refuse to give up. They looked away, uncomfortable, perhaps ashamed. But I didn't need their approval anymore. Not because I knew this wasn't just about me. It was a testament to resilience, the power of perseverance, of turning ridicule into redemption. I turned ocean waste into life, trash into triumph. I'd taken the voices that once silenced me and transformed them into a chorus of hope. As I walked away, I looked back at the lush green patch now thriving where once there was only despair. I realized that the greatest victory wasn't just in the technology I'd created or the ecosystems I'd restored. It was in the way I had faced my own doubts and the doubts of others, and refused to let them define me. That day I learned that sometimes the most profound change begins with silence. Silent voices, unspoken doubts, and the shattered trust of those who once mocked you. But if you hold on to your truth, if you keep fighting, they can't keep you down forever. And in the end, they don't just witness your success, they become part of your story. A story where the trash they once dismissed becomes the foundation of hope, renewal, and a future they can't ignore. Because that's what victory looks like. That's what redemption feels like. And that's the power of never giving up, even when the world says you're trash.